Well, there she is. Let's get into this.
Wolf mitzvah, spooky, scary. Boys becoming men, men becoming wolves.
Here's a nice close-up for all y'all. And that's what I did for Halloween. You know, I have a history of doing Halloween paintings. And this is the latest rendition. I didn't paint for a long time, all throughout the Schman Schminnick, and you know what? It shows. So I made a lot of mistakes, but join with me as we do this here painting. Let's hop in right now. So I start with the sky, of course. I like to go from the back to the front. And I was thinking of yellow moon's what I wanted, but then I put in that blue, and I'm like, you know what? I think the yellow moon might think it's a sun, so let's just make it blue. So that's what I went with. And of course, guys, I wanted to put a castle in. I really did. Or a mansion, a Baroque Dracula-style mansion. But it was... I just couldn't get it right. So I went with something completely different, which is why you don't see that in the final painting. Yeah. I took way too long on it, too. Holy shnikes. Yeah, way too long. Then I go to the mausoleum, thinking I was done with the mansion, pleased with the background. Thinking, no way I'll change it now. I'm way too invested. I spent way too much time on it. But, never be afraid to go back and fix what needs fixing, even if it means literally, as you will see, right now. Oh, okay, for some reason I can't go. It's not going when I wanted it to, but that's fine. It'll come shortly, trust me. For the interim, I work on the shadows in the graveyard, and the pumpkins, of course, which, spoiler, I don't keep. Yeah. Still, and here we go, see? You guys, honestly, didn't it need to go? I think so, too. So I was brave, and I got rid of it. But it took, this video was seriously like 3 hours long, and an hour of it was painting over and over and over that mansion. I just couldn't get it right. So I painted over it. Yeah. That's what you gotta do sometimes. I also stopped being afraid of doing color lines. This is a fun painting. I'm not trying to portray any kind of real scene, so it's okay if I have slight outlines so that it gives the shapes more definition. I was kind of afraid to do that. You don't really do that so much in real still lifes. But this isn't a still life, so we're all good. Of course, what's important here is that this tree looks like its branches are reaching out to grab you. That's the effect I was going for. So hopefully it's effective. I think so. It kind of looks... it's a rendition of my first Halloween tree. Check this card here for all that. But it's same type of tree. I thought maybe it would be the same type of tree, but from a different perspective. But nah, different tree altogether. Although I couldn't help but put in the spider web. It seemed to be calling for it. I think all evil, spooky trees need a Black Widow spider in it. It's a Black Widow because I put one red dot. One big, bright red dot that you can see if you come up close. You can't really see it in this one. But just sit there, trust me. And you'll be thinking to yourself, there's something about that spider. And then, boom! There it is. So, yeah, it looked blank back there, so I put in some mist. And I think that filled the space quite nicely. I didn't want to put another object in there. But, the patch in front was kind of giving me some trouble, too. I didn't want a bright, bright pumpkin. I wanted the bright light from the pumpkin lighting stuff. And so I needed to, I'll readdress it in a second. But also, I needed to have that shadow and that tree. And I think that worked. I was afraid that it would be too saturated, but it turned out that the that's basically green right out of the tube. That it was gonna, the value was right, so it worked out for shadow. And of course, I'm gonna put in logs later for not logs. I'm gonna put in poles for the fence, and so they'd have a shadow on the ground too. Then I'm gonna put that in a second. But first, the shadow, because that's what we do. In the shadows. Yeah, no. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to put them in. I don't like them all being the same, obviously. But it's surprisingly difficult to come up with a variation. Not really when you don't think about it, but it really kind of difficult when you do think about it. So, yeah, one's broken. I didn't want it to be a brand new cemetery. Obviously, this is a spooky old cemetery. So, you know, broken fence poles and whatnot. Yeah. And of course, the shadow. It's going to catch just a little bit of that moonlight. So I used burnt sienna on top of the actual posts themselves are burnt umber. Yep. And of course, then the poles themselves, the posts themselves, would have a shadow. So got to throw that in. A devalued blue, ultramarine blue, actually. Just I didn't want it to be prominent. Didn't want it to be super saturated because it's going through a lot of mist. And like I said, that patch right there is giving me just so many fits. Oh my goodness. On both sides, honestly. And so, that was weird. Yeah, and so the pumpkin, yeah, I thought maybe it'd be cool if the mist sort of covered him a little bit. And he's emerging from the mist. Yeah. So a little change. I didn't want the exact same pumpkin, although I did kind of. That was what was in my mind from my first Halloween tree. Check this card if you haven't seen it yet. I have a bunch of Halloween videos. There's another one there. Yeah, at least 3. I've been doing this for 3 years. This is my 4th one. Yay, I think. I don't know. I might have done 2 one year. It all starts to roll in together. That's the rough life, huh? So... well, that's going to have to be edited out. So then I decided I wanted to put some spooky eyes. But what color? If you use too much if you use a lot of warm colors, then it can tend to be muddy. But if you use too many cool colors, like I did, it's chalky. And I don't want chalkiness, so I wanted to warm it up a little bit. So I used purple. Yeah. And it kind of worked. It doesn't look chalky. But I couldn't figure out what I wanted in there, so I thought maybe, so I put a little aura around them because the eyes were shining, but that didn't look right. So then I decided, you know what, maybe there's a spooky spirit inside me smiling at you. Yeah, but that didn't work either. So I ended up just going with, boom, purple light shining out. But Sweet Jen said it looked like a stained glass window. That's not what I was looking for. Oh well. But these bats almost seem like cheating. They're so easy to make, but they really just bring a fuller picture to it, don't you think? I mean, what would be in that moon if it weren't for those bats? I like it. Directs the eye there. Fills up space without being too difficult. But like I said, it's eye candy. It's cheating. Yeah, of course, if you're going to have bats flying, you got to have one hanging in the tree, right? Of course. So there's my little bat. Hanging in the tree, just chilling. I mean, it's Halloween night, right, guys? No big deal. Just hanging out. That's what the bat says. And of course, like I said before, my obligatory spider web. Oh, like that spider web. Hey, honey. Show.
Say, it works well.
The spider web is obligatory. I've had them. It was the tree was my very first one, and so I've had it. And if you're gonna have a big spider web, then I did it again. Spider web. Forgive me, folks. If you're gonna have a spider web, success, then you gotta have a spider. And if you're gonna have a spider and it's spooky Halloween time, then it's gotta be a black widow. Even though black widows don't go in there, they hide in wood shacks. But never mind to that. It's a black widow. So. I talked about them eyes, and guess what? I didn't like it. So when I was watching the video, I saw what they looked like. It looked way better with those purple eyes just there. Kind of scary, spooky, some suspense. So I put them back in. What do you guys think? And well, what can I say, guys? That's my Halloween painting. Super spooky, scary. Man, did I make a lot of mistakes. But that's okay. Every painting I make is a learning adventure, so I learned a lot from this one. Yeah. But I am going to be doing some castle paintings because obviously my architecture needs some work. My castle. I got other ones. You like this one? That's decent architecture. Stay tuned for this picture. Hi, buddy. Anyway. Guys, happy Halloween. Thank you so much for watching.